After Moses spends time with God, in the tent of meeting and up on the mountain, and he's spending all this time with God in the book of Exodus. And it says that when he'd come back to the people after that, that his face would shine. Literally, people are scared of him because Moses' face would just glow from having been in the presence of God. They could tell physically that he had spent time with God. And no, you and I don't sit in the physical presence of God the way Moses did. And so we don't get this, kind of sanctified holy suntan that he had that made him literally glow and shine. But when we spend time with God, other people will be able to tell. When we truly spend time with God, not just spending time in religious activity or not just going to church, but spending time with God changes us and makes us shine like that. In the book of Acts, Peter and John get arrested. They do a terrible thing. They heal somebody. And so they get arrested and dragged before the religious leaders, and they're being questioned. And it says that they were amazed. The religious leaders were amazed and astonished these men because they were so bold, and yet they could see that they were just ordinary, unschooled guys. There was nothing, as far as the world was concerned, there was nothing special about them. It says, but they took note that they had been with Jesus. The thing that made them bold, the thing that made them different was not how much they had learned, not what they were capable of. It was that they had spent time with Jesus. Spending time with Jesus had left its mark on these men. Just like Moses' face was shining after he spent time with God, these men were different because of the time they spent with Jesus. That's why Jesus tells us that you know how people are going to know that you're my disciples? By the way you love one another. There's going to be something different about you because you follow me. Jesus isn't telling us, hey, you guys need to go figure out how to love other people and then people will think that you belong to me. No, he's saying, spend time with me and I will change you. I will make you different and you'll love other people in a way that you're not capable of on your own. You'll treat each other in a way that you're not capable of doing by your own strength and your own will. You need to spend time with me and I will change you. I will make you different. Moses' skin, he doesn't glow from the inside out. Moses is reflecting the light of God. He's reflecting God on his skin. As he didn't, he'd spend time with God and his face would shine, and it said it would start to decrease until he went to see God again, and then it would shine again. The same thing is true of us. That the more time we spend with God, the more people are going to be able to see that reflected in our lives. In Philippians, Paul says that we should shine like stars in the midst of a wicked and depraved generation. We're supposed to shine like stars in the darkness. And really, moon is a better translation for the way he describes this light, because it's not a light coming from us. He's really saying you should reflect the light of God in the midst of this dark generation. In the midst of this dark place, there is a light, and you can reflect that light. That's part of what it means to be made in the image of God, that we are made so that we can reflect the light of God, so we can show his light to other people. It doesn't come out of us. We just reflect it. Just like Moses' face was shining because he'd spent time with God, we can shine because we have spent time with God as well. We can reflect the light of God. That doesn't happen just because we go through some religious activity, it doesn't happen just because we show up for church. It happens because we've truly spent time with him. The other people, they can see God up on the mountain. They can see God out there meeting with Moses. They're nearby. They hear the words. They hear the things that Moses brings back from God. But they don't go spend time with him the same way Moses does. They're too scared. There's a point where God wants the people to come, and they say, no, this is too much. Moses, you go and meet with God for us, and then just come back and tell us. People are too scared. They don't want that kind of encounter. They don't want that kind of change to go on in their lives. They're not ready for it. Folks, you and I can be changed by spending time with Jesus. He will change us from the inside out. He will cause us to be more and more like him. And people will see that in our lives. They'll see how we're different. They'll see how we're peculiar, that we belong to Jesus. We will reflect his light everywhere that we go. That's who we're called to be. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to shine just like Moses did. Love you guys.